Welcome back. Do you think it's harder to find wisdom or to become wise? Understanding the answer to this question might just change your life. Let's dive in. So, is there even a difference between finding wisdom and becoming wise? Yes, and one is much harder than the other. Let me show you what I mean. Proverbs 1:20-21 says, "Wisdom shouts in the streets. She cries out in the public square. She calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in front of the city gate." And it continues in verse 23 to say, "Come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise." And in James 1, we're told, if you don't have all the wisdom needed for this journey, then all you have to do is ask God for it. And God will grant you all that you need. He gives lavishly and never scolds you for asking. In these verses, it actually seems like wisdom is easy to find. It's calling out in public places to anyone who wants to listen. God wants to give generously without making anyone feel bad. So why are wise people rare? Why isn't everyone overflowing with wisdom? The key is putting wisdom into practice. And that means not just learning or knowing, but doing what God says. Wisdom is not just about collecting a lot of knowledge. Wisdom is not about being very intelligent. It's not about how much you know. It's about doing the wise things God has shown you. If you know about all sorts of things and have the best grades and always have an answer, but don't obey God, then you're not a wise person. God says that if you do not do the good things that you have learned, then you're actually being foolish. Think of a workshop full of amazing tools that you can use to design and build whatever you want. If you don't know how to use those tools, then it doesn't help you at all. But with understanding of how to use those tools, and by putting them into use, you can do amazing things. That's putting wisdom into practice. Scientists for a long time have looked at animals' intelligence based on their ability to use tools. Chimpanzees and gorillas are famous for making tools out of what they find around them. They've been observed taking leaves off branches to create tools to reach into termite mounds and collect termites to eat. And if you've ever been called bird-brained to say that you're not smart, then you'll like this. Crows and other birds have been found to be some of the most intelligent animals because of how they can problem solve and use tools. They don't even have hands, but they've used twigs to extract prey from hiding spaces. They've figured out how to use rocks to raise the level of water and get food. And they've even figured out how to use our cars. That's right. They've figured out that they can drop hard to crack nuts on the road so that cars will run over them and crack them. And believe it or not, they've also learned how to use our own traffic lights as tools. Since gathering food in the middle of the street can be a problem, they started dropping the nuts in crosswalks so that they could eat while the cars would stop at the red lights. Not bad for being bird-brained. One of the most amazing examples is the octopus. It's been found using a number of tools, but one of the most fun to watch is how it uses a coconut. Since it doesn't have bones or a skeleton, an octopus will find the right size coconut shell, move it to some strategic locations, and at times it'll use it like an armor. It makes it more protected, it's a great place to hide, and it even knows how to use it to roll along the bottom of the ocean. Using the right tools for the right purposes can make you pretty smart. And when you use God's truth and knowledge, you become wise. The Apostle Paul said, "Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice. And the God of peace will be with you." That's what I want. I want to experience the God of peace with me. God's wisdom is not always easy to do, but His wisdom is usually simple. For example, you know that you should forgive. It's simple to understand what God is asking, but it can be difficult to actually do it. Obeying God isn't always easy, but it's worth it. If you choose to be a person who learns what God says and does those things no matter how hard it is, you will become wise. And according to Proverbs 1:33, you'll live in safety and be at ease without fear of harm. Keep putting God's wisdom into practice as you keep fueling yourself with God's love and truth.